Thank you for joining us on this Friday, September 6th. Live from the Beals Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Christina Beals.
And I'm Ian Objio.
The Career Development Center recently started the Career Studio located in the John E. Thomas Building. Susan McCracken is the Director of the Career Development and Economic Engagement. She said the Career Development Center started the Career Studio after seeing other college campuses practice professionalism in open, casual spaces. During its afternoon drop-in hours, students can come into the Career Studio and get professional guidance from at least 2 available career guides. The Career Development Center employs career guides who are juniors and seniors that give students professional advice from peer perspectives. McCracken said the Career Studio had its soft opening at the beginning of the year, and she has already had students to come in for career advising.
Pedestrians will soon have a new way to move between Blowing Rock and Boone. The Blue Ridge Conservancy is a nonprofit organization that protects natural landscapes in western North Carolina. Under its Greenway project, a 6.5-mile walking and biking trail along the Middle Fork River will connect the 2 communities. Development of the project began in the late 90s, when local residents began thinking back to a time before wider highways separated their communities. Watauga County's planning director, Joe Furman, says the local economy could get a boost. A study showed an increase of nearly $300,000 in property tax revenue and more than $900,000 in local business activities. Tourists would bring an additional $6 million into the area. Wendy Potopstry is the project director. She says the community response to the Greenway has been positive. 2 sections have been slated for construction. One will connect downtown Blowing Rock to the Foley Center, another linking Tweetsie Railroad with Gold Mine Branch Park. A 1-mile portion between Tweetsie Railroad and Sterling Creek Park has already been completed. No date has been set for the completion of the entire trail.
On Thursday, September 5th, the university celebrated 120 years of classes with the annual Founders Day celebration at Founders Plaza. The celebration commemorates the first classes at App State, formerly known as Watauga Academy. Chancellor Sherry Everett started this tradition last year to honor B.B. Daughtry, D.D. Daughtry, and Lily Scholl Daughtry. This year, the celebrations included live music and free food on Sanford Mall, the dedication of a new statue, and the induction of inaugural members into the Bell Ringer Society. The members of the society rang the Founders Bell during the celebration. The App State History Committee will also host an exhibition in the Students' Union to showcase faculty and student work, followed by a panel discussion with former Chancellor John E. Thomas and previous App State administrators. Last year, an App State freshman started a club to identify workplace injustice and help women thrive in leadership roles. Emma Fry is a sophomore who came up with the idea for the Women's Influence Club before attending App State. Fry says she wants to create a community for women to celebrate leadership positions and focus on leadership education, service learning, and community building. At the club's first meeting, Vice President McKenna Feed and Treasurer Paloma Mejia Vasquez emphasized an intersectional space that includes both women and non-binary people facing workplace discrimination. Non-binary is defined as a spectrum of gender identities that are not exclusively feminine or masculine. Fry says she hopes to get the club involved with local school systems to help young students become leaders in the community. The Women's Influence Club is looking to organize 5Ks and feminist literature nights.
Jordan McKay is the first recipient of the Watauga Residential College Student Scholarship, and she says that the community allows her voice to be heard. She credits Watauga Residential College for helping her and her friends become more outspoken and making classroom talks more meaningful. As part of her responsibility for receiving the scholarship, McKay is now working on improving programs such as the mentoring system, where sophomores are assigned to freshmen to assist in their first year. Her sights are also set on Watauga's house system, which is modeled after the Hogwarts house system from Harry Potter. Students are given a house, compete by participating in events, and earn points. Those with the most at the end of the year receive an award. McKay says she is reassured that the award is coming from a place so close to her heart.
App State's cultural ambassadors want to offer more presentations that teach students and faculty about customs from other countries. The Office of International Education and Development organizes the cultural ambassadors. They are international, multicultural, and returning graduate students who represent a variety of different countries. Ambassadors organize presentations and panels for classes, clubs, and social events. Presentations are typically small group discussions that cover a variety of culture topics, such as food, home life, family dynamics, and business etiquette. Xiao Wen is a first-year cultural ambassador. She says she would like to see more students and faculty request presentations so she can discuss cultural topics like LGBT rights and women's roles in Vietnam.
The Mountaineers kicked off their season on Saturday, August 31st. Our reporter Justin Lundy found out how fans feel about the new alcohol policy at Kidd Brewer Stadium.
It's game day at Kidd Brewer Stadium, and for the first time in App State history, alcohol is being sold here. And these Mountaineers behind me have some heated opinions on the matter. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper signed House Bill 389 into law over the summer, which permits all NC colleges to sell alcohol at their stadiums and arenas. A lot of people in the high country are worried about how their football experience may be affected because of this.
Well, I just think it's a bad thing. I think it's going to keep students drinking longer, and they're going to get belligerent, start fights, and it's just going to lead to a lot of negatives for the football team.
You know, there's definitely some negatives with the safety issues with underage drinking. So many undergrads are here. People over 21 definitely could buy it for underage. I'm not for it.
I mean, honestly, I think it's just great for the fans. It'll excite them for sure and just, you know, bring more people to the games, stuff like that.
Though everyone is entitled to their own opinion, stadium officials do assure us that they are regulating alcohol safely to all App State fans. For Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Justin Lundy.
During our broadcast on Friday, August 13th, we incorrectly reported that Dr. Harry L. Williams wrote the summer reading book, Just Mercy. Brian Stevenson wrote Just Mercy, and Dr. Williams spoke at Black and Gold Convocation. In addition, we incorrectly reported that the Appalachian State Police Department received financial benefit for the North Carolina Law Enforcement Agency of the Year. The department did not receive financial gain for the award.
Thank you, Christina. And now it's time to check in on sports with Matthew Cosgrove.
Thanks, guys. The Mountaineers are gearing up for its game against UNC Charlotte on Saturday, September 7th. Based on the team's performance against East Tennessee State Labor Day weekend, the Neers should not worry. The team kicked off their 2019 season at Kidd Brewer Stadium. After a slow start in the first half, leading 14-0, the Mountaineers came out and scored on its first 4 possessions in the second half to roll past the Buccaneers 42-7. Quarterback Zach Thomas showed everyone why he was named the Sun Belt All-Conference preseason quarterback. He completed 16 of 24 passes for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. He ran for another. As expected, Thomas Hennigan was a part of the passing game. He pulled 7 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown came when Hennigan pulled in a lovely pass from Zach Thomas over 2 defenders. Running back Darrington Evans also got into the mix. He led all rushers with 99 yards on 14 carries, including a 13-yard rushing touchdown in the third quarter. The Mountaineers totaled 283 rushing yards as well. That game marks the first victory as a head coach for Eli Drinkwitz. Coach Drinkwitz took over for Scott Satterfield, who left for Louisville right before the Mountaineers won the Sun Belt Conference Championship game in December. The Mountaineers host the University of North Carolina Charlotte 49ers. Tomorrow's game at Kidd Brewer Stadium kicks off at 3:30 p.m. In women's field hockey, the Mountaineers will close out their schedule away from Boone with a matchup against Lafayette College. On September 1st, the Mountaineers travel to Washington, D.C. to take on the Georgetown Hoyas. After a scoreless first half, App State broke the deadlock with a goal 3 minutes into the second half. Megan Smart is a junior. She recorded her 3rd goal of the season to give the Mountaineers a 1-0 lead. Senior Melissa Nobile recorded her first point of the season with an assist on Smart's goal. Gaines in App State's defense then locked down the Hoyas for the remainder of the contest. The senior made 7 saves, including 5 in the third quarter, to preserve Appalachian's second shutout win. The defense held the Hoyas without a shot in the final period, while also outshooting Georgetown 11-10. I'm Matt Cosgrove, and that's all for sports. Hope to see you guys tomorrow at the game.
You know I'll be there, Matt. And now it's time for your High Country High Note. An App State student is spreading positive social change in her childhood community. Carolyn Martin was recently crowned Miss Moore County in central North Carolina. Her mission is to help those with concerns over weight and body image, along with her slogan, #self-care, eat to success. Martin says she intends to create a helpful online community for those seeking guidance, and even has a cookbook in the works. Her goal, she says, is to promote healthy lifestyles as a fuel for personal success. Martin is no stranger to nutrition or Moore County. Growing up as a military child, she attended several schools on base. She was also an avid athlete and says that maintaining a fit body was crucial. Martin wants to make sure the other kids don't have to think the same way.
That's our report for this week. I'm Christina Beals.
And I'm Ian Objio. For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.